Hello and welcome to the show. We start this week's FailRace episode on GTA 5 with some people messing around. Now, we've all done this when, doing the heist. There's a lot of pointless driving from A to B during these online heists. And, well, sometimes when your friends have a Batmobile, you might get a little bit unlucky. It's a hell of a shot from the Batmobile to punt the car into the petrol station. Couldn't do that one if you tried, but, yeah. Oh, we've all been there at some point. Valentine is up next on GTA 5. This, I believe, is your stream. This is the Jolly Boost racetrack, and one of the luckiest moments I've ever seen on this one. Now, that you've got very little control. You have no way of seeing cars coming from the side in this one. It is the closest I think I've ever seen somebody getting through this section. I mean, the Brioso here hits the boost pad, is flung full speed towards the crossover point and manages to get through a tiny gap between two minis. Honestly, I'm impressed. I'm very impressed indeed. Wobblier Guide up next on GTA 5. They have got to steal a specific car. So they spot the Jester. They drive in front of it, noticing the amount of exhausts on their McLaren is quite impressive. Either way, they get in front, take out the drive. Actually pretty efficient. Pretty efficiently done, all of this. So they now go to steal the car. When the AI, they have other ideas at full speed. I'm going to guess he was freaked out by the gunshots, but that is from some distance and some speed for an AI car there. We have Johnny up next on Horizon 5. They're racing some very classic cars. Goes for an overtake, gets it well. See, the overtake was good. The grip roll was bad, and then the dump into the river was even less good. Quite a turn of events did occur right there. Firebird is up next on Asphalt 9. Now, they are driving their Ferrari. The police are trying to stop them. First of all, the police tries a new method of car hatting the getaway vehicle. Doesn't really work. Not all that effective. The Ferrari is unfazed by that one. And as the police then try other methods, including rolling their car at the player, that one also did not prove to be effective at stopping the Ferrari. RGB Nitro is up next on Need for Speed Unbound. They're doing one of the new drag races. This is kind of like the underground style of drag races. Either way, things are not going particularly well for them. However, up ahead, the player smashed into a truck or something, but the big punt from the Mercedes made sure that they at least still crossed the line in second. We're on to Police Simulator next, which they are trying to call it a tow truck for this van. The problem is as they called it in, well, the game didn't really spawn it in a helpful place. In fact, they spawned it inside the police car, which, funnily enough, ended about as well as you would expect it. Two things in the same location, and physics decides to rectify that by launching the police car across the map. Not the furthest flung vehicle we've ever seen in one of these. Now we move on to Need for Speed Pro Street next. Now these high-speed races were notoriously dangerous, and it looks like things have gone horribly wrong for the NSX. Amazingly, it landed back on its wheels, and at this point the game doesn't know what to do. It thinks the car should be wrecked, but it isn't, so the slow-mo cam is still going on. The player actually has got control of the vehicle at this point. They somehow got away with not wrecking from a tremendous roll. Things aren't particularly aren't great. It's kind of stuck in this weird mode, and the Zonda is driving off at the front. Eventually the game kind of kicks into gear and goes, wait, hold on, yes, actually, you're supposed to be driving that one, which kind of catches the player out. They pause the game for a second to check on everything, that it's fine, but yeah, they were not angled correctly, and they still end up wrecking just a little bit further. Very lucky. Weird moment. Calvin up next on Beam is trying to drift down a car park when things go, unfortunately, wrong. I'm guessing they just managed to catch, I guess, like a tiny little lip somewhere along there, and it's enough, a little bit of hitbox issue, and it's just enough to launch the car over. Yeah, the drifting did not quite work as intended. Small Man up next on Assetto Corsa Competizione, racing around Bathurst. I mean, always a very, very challenging circuit, this one. Up ahead, you've got a Camaro that is trying and looking for a way past. Can't quite do it, though. Unfortunately, that is too much curb, and yes, It will roll. I think these are GT forecasts. They definitely will roll off of the curbs at Bathurst. Jack Hammer up next on iRacing, doing a spot of oval racing. Not quite sure what these Mustangs are, what sort of race cars these Mustangs are. Either way, they're at Monza doing a spot of oval racing. Everything looks fairly normal. Everything going fairly well. I mean, there's a little bit of moving around. There's a little bit of, changing of lanes. Unfortunately, one of the cars on the front row hits the wall and, well, it's narrow at that point. So as you would expect, everything has gone wrong. It was going so well, and then it wasn't. One car got through that, as far as I can make out. One car made it through that without any sort of damage, and that was the other car at the front of the queue. Yeah. Oval racing can go spectacularly wrong sometimes. And finally, we have Dietor Productions on Planet Crafter. Now, they are building a rocket. I don't know, I've never really played this game, don't know much about it. They build a rocket, they're going to launch it. They press the big button, or satellite or whatever, and then they stand on said rocket, seeing what would happen. Well, they don't go flying up towards space. No, but they have managed to affect the rocket somehow. It's not doing what a rocket should do there. It's now become a problem, I think, is the best way to sum it up. It actually bounces off of another rock in the distance, gets turned around, and now it's more of a plane than a rocket, more of a jet. I don't know, it pings off the floor, and it's going up. This is like my Kerbal Space Program rockets, only it's normally would have exploded into many pieces by now. That's not a good way to take off in the slightest. But there we go, that is going to be it for this episode. As ever, if you do have clips for this one, and we do indeed need more clips for this series, there is a link in the description to a Google form where you can submit them. All the rules and how it works can be found on there. That, though, is going to be it from me. Thank you all very much for watching, and until next time, goodbye.